People often ask me, is it possible to get a VA loan with a repossession on credit? This is something I hear all the time as a loan officer, and I'm happy. Yes, you actually can get a VA loan with a repossession on credit, but it also depends on the type of repossession, and that's what's going to happen on the rules on that. Now, with the foreclosure, the VA does have some guidance on foreclosures. If it was the house that repossessed, then you would have a 2-year waiting period per VA guidelines, and that would be from the time that the county filed or the lender filed the title from your name to their name. That would actually be when that foreclosure would count. 2 years waiting period from that date. It is shortened for 1 year with extenuating circumstances. A lot of extenuating circumstance would be either job loss or a medical issue, or inability to sell the residence. So those are allowable extenuating circumstances that would actually lower that foreclosure period to 1 year. Now let's talk a little bit about cars and other repossessions, such as boats, RVs, etc. The VA is actually super vague on their guidance on there. So typically, it's 1 year. Luckily, VA home loan, even though they're extremely flexible, and this is one thing I've noticed a lot as a mortgage loan officer, they will actually, each lender has slightly different guidance on this. But luckily, most have agreed at 1 year for repossessions. Now, that being said, the date that 1 year counts is a little bit different among each lender. Like some will actually take it 1 year from the repossession date itself, and some will say 1 year from the last late payment. So even among lenders, there's no official guidance. Because there's no official guidance, each one has their own rules on that. And so luckily as a broker, it's one thing that I can look through and figure out exactly how that works. Now, extenuating circumstances could lower that waiting period. Now, allowable extenuating circumstances are medical issues, and that has to be involuntary, like a car wreck or you got cancer or something like that. And those issues have been resolved. If it's, you have some disease and you still have it going on, it's still causing financial distress, no, that wouldn't count. But if it's been resolved, then that's a good thing. And that could shorten the waiting period actually down to 0, depending on the lender. Another one is job loss, and that's if it was a layoff situation. If it was with cause, then that would not count. But if it was a layoff type situation, that could shorten the waiting period. Some things that would not count as an extenuating circumstance, divorce, unfortunately, does not count as extenuating circumstance. The other one that does not count